We're back again. Good day, Ruskin enjoyers. So yep, a brand new survey has just been put up. Which deployable building skins do you want to see in game? So okay, cool. Not sure why it says deployable building skins. Is it deployables and building skins? Interesting choice of words. But anyway, let's quickly switch over to here. So of course, in the first instance, we talked about brand new weapon skinnables, and recently we just saw the handmade LMG become skinnable. Lovely. And after that, we talked about tools, and then after that, we talked about clothing armor, the most recent video that we did. I have just found out that we actually get 5 surveys in total, and of course, with today's one, that is number 4. Now, you might sit there and say, well, okay, what's number 5 going to be? Oh, I'll save that for last. So, if you want to skip ahead, look in the description. There's chapters there. Let's get started then. So, all right. We are expecting a brand new skinnable every single month. And just to clarify, of course, the most recent video, we know for December, we're getting tactical gloves next month, okay? So if you forgot, next month, December 4 swipe, tactical gloves will become skinnable. So, all right, cool, lovely, looking forward to that. But now we question, what's next? We don't know what's coming out for January, February or March, no clue. But of course, keep an eye on the commits, things will be mentioned, and we'll talk more about that in a bit as well, don't you worry. So let's hop in. So you can go to the link, that'll be in the description right now. The Twitter link will be there, and let's jump in. So, which deployable building skins do you want to see in game? The first page is always the same, you know, post your Steam profile link right there if you want to potentially win a prize. How do you typically learn about new skins? I'm still hoping to see Hedge there. Come on, face punch, do it for the last one. Anyway, how often do you buy skins? I always put daily. Not sure if they're talking about buying brand new skins straight from the Rust store, or of course buying it on the Steam market. I'd like to say I'm pretty successful in that regard. Very much so, yes. And then, of course, you know, what would your budget be? I say, you know, honestly, it should be like $3 plus or something, because I don't mind paying whatever, so as long as it's a good deal. And I'm sure you'd agree as well, so, all right, cool. And in regards to, like, how many skins would you like to see in a Rust store? Like, what's the maximum amount that you'd prefer? I'm fine for up to 14. We've seen that before with, like, 4-swipe Rust stores, so, you know, no complaints here. So that's all nice and, well, let's now move on and talk about what brand new skinnables would you like to see with deployables. I've actually already got started. Let's go through all of these and question and query what would work. So barbed wooden barricade. Let me just copy this because I'm not sure if everybody's going to fully be aware of what this is. So let's just quickly grab this, and there you go. It is this. I've got to be honest with you, and this is definitely going to be something we're going to talk about a lot throughout all of this video. It doesn't look like it has that much space to really have like a pretty interesting sort of skin being made for it. Like, oh, okay, then I'll make a red one, and I'll make a blue one, and I'll make a yellow one. Okay, So that's why I've like put it down as a free. I'm not opposed to having some straightforward designs. That's fine. But there's another thing we also have to question, and maybe we might want to save it for when we talk about the chain link gate and fence. So, okay, so with the lack of space, or at least the lack of like stuff to work with, space and whatnot, yeah, I don't think it's going to be something that I'd prioritize. So think of it like that way. I'm not saying no, but everything I'm going to put as a 5, I'd like to see become skinnable next. I can't really like specifically choose, but I would put it in that regard. So okay, cool. Beehive. Now, in regards to Beehive, the shape of it, I'm not upset with it becoming skinnable. If anything, it'd probably be like easy to do. It's just what am I going to do then? We could do like a yellow and black one. Who would have guessed? But yes, I mean, I'm not opposed. I think some very cute, silly designs can be made with cute little bees all over it and whatnot. I think people would actually appreciate that. But with it being something that's completely brand new, I think people might want to prioritize other things. And now we talk about the chain link gate and fence. I'm talking too quickly, I'm sorry. So, I'm sure you're fully well aware that this is mostly transparent and like it's, well, very thin. So let's just quickly grab this, and of course, you know, we'll remind you what it looks like. I'm very much under the impression what you know, Face Punch is asking for is something that they can make themselves. So if we could just quickly grab the images and put it over to here. So there you are. There's not that much to work with, is what I'm saying. But, and I might remind you, in the previous iteration of the surveys asking for brand new skinnables, the tool cupboard was like the highest voted thing. People were going crazy for it. That was the previous iteration. But we did end up getting like skins for the tool cupboard. You know, DLC money, please. And then, of course, that very nice promotion we had. So, okay, we've got some skins, but they're made by Face Punch themselves. And in one way or another, you had to pay for them. So is that something that relates to the chain link gate and fence? Perhaps they just put it there because they felt the need to add more stuff. I mean, there's still quite a lot of stuff here. But again, it's another instance of, well, it's quite a lot of transparency, not too much to work with, but I can't help but assume Facepunch might step in and say, well, we'll just make like a very cool chain link gate and fence and put it in a DLC and it'll be $10, please. Maybe. But do consider that, and that's why I gave it a 4. I think there's other things I would prioritize ahead of it, and you're going to find out in a bit, don't you worry. But yeah, 4 should be fine if they are going to consider making things themselves, which they've already done with the code lock. So, okay, I'm not opposed to this, but I don't think there's that much to work with. But then again, it's like a square. I mean, there's tons of stuff you could do with it. But like, how many ideas can you have that perfectly fits with security and a code lock and whatnot? Like, we'll probably run out of we'll probably run out of ideas after like 4. But then again, if you're really creative, you just probably keep making up silly things. Either way, code lock, I think I would like it. It's just a matter of I just probably wouldn't prioritize it. So if we got one, like if the code lock became skinnable like in a year's time, all right, that's fine, you know. Because again, with some of the things we're about to talk about in a second, yeah, I think we might want to prioritize that. Now with floor grills, again, with the transparency, I just don't think there's much to work with. But for stone gate and high external walls, technically speaking, they're already skinnable. Yeah, skin creators have already like had fun with that. They can work around with that and with wooden walls as well. So yeah, I honestly think both of these would be a very good shout. But it wouldn't surprise me if that would end up being like part of, well, I mean, you already found that out, didn't you, with building skins. So yeah, high external walls, independently, in Rust stores, I think a lot of people would approve. But again, how many ideas could really work with it? I would like a no mercy high... I would like a redemption. I would like a lovely tempered wall, please. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but how far do we go with the silliness? Does it fit? Yeah. But in regards to like holiday events and whatnot, I think we could get some really fun, interesting things being made with that, especially like the wood stuff. I think Facepunch would be very lenient to have some wacky Christmas and Halloween things made for that. So yeah, honestly, both of them. I'm totally down for it. And again, it feels like they're kind of asking, hey, would you like us to make some more things and sell it as DLC? So yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Now, Keylock, to be honest with you, I think it's just too small. And, you know, in comparison to the code lock, I think code lock's like a whole lot more easier to work with. Again, I'm also thinking about like the skin creators themselves. If they can't really work with it that much, you're not going to get that many interesting ideas being made. And again, it'll just probably be like, here's a green key lock, and here's a blue one, and ladder hatch. I wouldn't say no. I think that can be worked with quite nicely. Again, I don't know what the UV maps look like. But yeah, I think that would probably work quite nicely. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Now, water catchers. I don't think it'd be too hard, but I wouldn't prioritise them. Again, and do you approve of H2O? Do you like to drink a lot of water? You should drink water now. Anyway, yeah, I've kind of put it there to say, yeah, I like it, but I'm not super convinced. Now, Legacy Wood Shelter. Oh yeah, 100%. I'll put that as a priority. I know it's a fairly recent thing, but I also think that's something you could get a lot of like very interesting designs of like being made. Like, I know for a fact, skin creators who had some transparency and had some holes into it and whatnot, I think they could make some very fun ideas. Perhaps Facepunch is kind of asking again, would we be allowed to make a interesting DLC design? I mean, I'm thinking of some very, very bad things in my head. I shouldn't say all of them, but yeah, you can imagine some of them. So, well, toilet, you know, that's one. That's probably a nice thing of saying. But anyway, Legacy Wood Shelter, yep, I think that's probably a perfectly fine consideration. Now, Metal Barricade, it's basically the, well, I'll just go grab a picture of it. You know, the crosses. Let's just grab you, and here we are, just to quickly keep you all informed. So basically, again, how much can you work with it? Not fully convinced you can make like some very interesting skins with it. So I wouldn't say no, but I would prioritize that a little bit higher compared to the barbed wooden barricade, for example. Again, comment below your own opinions, but I kind of get the feeling like they might like, they'll probably make like a base defenses sort of DLC and add some interesting designs, some metal barricades and wood barricades and all that. They'll probably introduce like a brand new item that explodes. So, okay, cool, understood. Now, braziers. Someone was actually asking about this, so let me just quickly grab these. Again, this is going to be one of those things where I don't think everybody's going to realise what it is. There we go. The word is weird, but there we are. So the little protective layers just outside the windows. I wouldn't say no to that. I think you could have some very fun designs with that. I think a lot of people would greatly appreciate it. So, all right, cool. I think I'll probably put that down as a number 5. Yes. Middle shop front. I think we also have a wooden one over there as well. I also think that would be a very cool thing. I know a lot of people love to use them. Now, in terms of roleplay, probably a whole lot more, yeah. But in terms of actual gameplay, no. Of course, people like to have the nice peaks and whatnot. So, yeah, I would put that down. Would the skins be made to be more appropriate as a shop or as a little line of defense? I mean, anyway, it's cool. Metal window bars. Oh, how thin is it? Yeah. I think I'll just put it down as a 3. I'm not saying no, I'm just like, eh. And again, netting, yeah. DLC netting, no. Who knows what Face Punch could cook, but yeah. Prison cell, gate and walls. Huh. That definitely smells like some sort of special DLC. I mean, it did a 4 with the chain link gate and fence, so, I mean, yeah, sure. I wouldn't say no. So, okay, fair enough. Imagine like a proper, like, police-themed DLC pack. I think people would probably approve. Reinforced glass window. No. I don't think there's that much you can work with. I don't think. I remember they wanted to add a bunch of mirrors like a year ago, and then they fought against it because they realised it would greatly affect the FPS if you're near it. So, probably not for the best. So I'm going to say no. Stone barricade. Right, let me explain myself. All right, just sit around, kids. Sit around. I put a short video out about this before, so here we go. Certain games on Steam have managed to request from. Oh, I typed it wrong. They've requested from Valve, hey, can we use something like from Portal and whatnot? I remember Bastion. If you did something, you could get like one of the turrets from Portal there and whatnot. I've always said this. All Face Punch has to do is just ask, hey Valve, can we have the weighted companion cube and use it as a special skin? You know how it just recently had the charity skins, the little teddy bear plushies? Imagine for like $10. But again, any charity, you know people would buy this for like $10 each. So weighted companion cube. Here we go. Yeah, 100%. You probably didn't even realise you wanted that until now. It's a bit of a joke, but I stand by it. $10 each. Just you'll see tons of them all around on the server and whatnot. So yeah, what's your thoughts in regard to that? Something very silly, doesn't like get appreciated that much anymore. But just for a silly novelty idea, I mean, what do you reckon? I approve. If they want to go really wacky with it, yeah, go nuts. Because what else are you going to use them for? Feel free to comply. Strengthened glass window? No, I'm good, sorry. Tool cupboard, yes. Community-made tool cupboards, 100%. I know for a fact people have been begging and yearning and screaming for something like that. So, yeah. I want an exquisite, absolutely lovely, what could we say? What collection would you like to see for a tool cupboard? Feel free to comment below. Would you sit there and say, oh, tempered collection tool cupboard? Oh, yes, that'd be very, very nice. What about something very goofy, like a banana one? Well, I mean, not saying no. What about the pug dog collection? Would you like to have a silly pug sort of tool cupboard? You know, there's plenty of things that could be done with it. Tastefully, though? Well, again, your opinions, please. Feel free to comment below. Now, the watchtower. I'm not saying no. If you're going to do like, if you can make something with the legacy wood shelter, I imagine you'll be able to do something with the watchtower. But I would prioritise the shelter. Wood shutters, not saying no. Again, I'd prioritise other things. Wooden cover barricade and wooden barricade. Let me just clarify. What's the difference between the two of them? So you got rust wooden barricade, and then you got the cover barricades. Ah, there you go. There's the difference. So you got like the evolution. Yeah. Okay, so that is the cover, and that is the standard barricade. Understandable. One's for defense, one's for cover. No and yes. I think a lot of people would greatly appreciate getting some skinnable versions of that. But again, it had to be done somewhat tastefully, so you wouldn't be able to have anything like metallic and whatnot. It'll have to be something like spray paint and whatnot. which again people would approve of. So yeah, cool. Wooden ladder, I don't think that smells like DLC again. Wooden shop front, I would approve. And wooden window bars, too much transparency, I'm afraid to say. So overall, what would you change? What would you greatly approve of? Feel free to comment below. And that's essentially everything. I've already done this already, but yeah, I guess I can do it again. I want to win the prize. But yes, you're now going to question Hedge. What is the final survey? And I was kind of surprised to hear it. And I can't help but assume it's definitely 100% going to be DLC packs. The final survey is going to be vehicles. Minicopters, cars, oh, motorbikes, oh. It smells like they're plotting to do a big vehicle pack of some sort in the future. Because why would they have a survey asking for it? They just need your approval. I mean, I think a lot of people would greatly appreciate that. Now, some of you might sit there and say, it would also be nice, you know, if the skin creators could make some. But again, would they be able to pull it off? I've said this before. I was anticipating something like this again in the previous style of surveys they've done in the past, which was like 2 years in the past, but like when it started. Anyway, they were mentioning vehicles, and I always said I don't think many skin creators are going to pull off a good job with like a minicopter. But I can't help but assume in the hands of like Face Punch, they'll do some sort of special DLC and they'll probably do a great job of it. And a lot of people sit there and moan saying, why can't we get it for free? I mean, it is what it is. They've got to keep the servers running and they need your funds. So, yeah, that's it. That is everything. Got to keep an eye out though on the commits, as I said just a little bit earlier. So let's just quickly switch over to here. And oh, ice sculptures are back. Last year, they're supposed to come out for Christmas 2024. They had some issues. Looks like they're fixing it, and it looks like it's getting set and ready for Christmas 2025. Yeah, there was like a few months ago, there was mentions of like a brand new sled. Haven't seen anything mentioning that as of recent, so okay, fair enough. Someone asked for this, I'm sure. Who here asked for a ball pit in Rust? I swear this game babysits some of these people. Anyway, what? Hey, all right, fine, sure. You might be able to find some interesting things in there. Or hide from people. All right, cool. Anyway, let's move on from here. There we go. To my surprise, the M92 is suddenly being worked on. I wonder why. I'm not implying something. Again, nothing is definitive until they quite literally say it's skinnable on the commits. And they did mention it very, very recently with the tactical gloves, even though we knew about that ever since we found out about the handmade LMG. So, all right, cool. So keep an eye on the commits. Brand new things are being worked on. Of course, they're still working on the naval update. How's the player count currently holding up? It's not too bad. We are seeing improvement. It's not looking too bad. So, okay, cool. January, force wipe. Around then, that's what we're going to find and see the next survey. And get ready. Answer now. What would you prioritise to become skinnable next out of all the vehicles? So, minicopter, attack heli, car, or the various different types of cars. Again, you'd have to build it in such a way to get the skin, I'm sure. You could get like a van. Again, bike. Ever since they made changes to the bikes so that you can do jumps on them, I was convinced they were going to do BMX bikes. Imagine if they added a monument where you can actually like drive, like do a bunch of flips and whatnot. I mean, again, with what they added, might just be the preliminary to what they want to eventually do, where they add a whole lot more interesting things. So, yeah, things are looking pretty interesting on the horizon, but in a pure novelty sort of cosmetic way. So, yeah, I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to keep an eye out for things, and I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this video as well, because I'm going to go away for a weekend around halfway through like November. So this might be a bit later on. Regardless, the things we've said and talked about, this survey is always going to be up. But like the being informed when the next thing happens, yeah. So just to point out, I have recorded this at an earlier time in November. So that's it. That's a wrap. So thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. And do not forget, the link to this tweet will be in the description, and there you go. Just remember, if you want to do this online on a stream, if you're already signed in on a Gmail, it will automatically show it. So if you're a streamer, yeah, do be want. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to each and every single one of you, and let's keep an eye out for the next survey. What will become Skinnable next?